We're always told that freedom is all about having more choices. The freedom to pick your career, your phone, even your mindset. But what if that whole idea of freedom is, well, kind of a fantasy? What if the real power isn't in the choices we're given, but in our ability to actually shape those choices from the start? And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. So, to kick things off, let's look at an idea that just perfectly captures this promise of individual power. An idea that not too long ago went absolutely viral across the globe. I bet you've heard of this one, power posing. It's such a simple, seductive idea, isn't it? That just by changing your body, you can change your mind. And then, ultimately, you can change your entire life. Now, the original research was electrifying. The idea was, get this, that just for 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes, of standing like a superhero, you could actually increase your testosterone, lower your stress hormones, and make yourself more willing to take risks. It felt like the ultimate life hack, a shortcut to confidence. Of course, the science behind it would later turn out to be way, way more complicated. But man, did this take off. And why? Because it tapped into this incredibly powerful belief we have, that our success is totally within our own control. It's the ultimate, if you want it, you can achieve it story, all wrapped up as personal empowerment. But here's the thing, while we're all busy trying to optimize our own mindsets, we might be missing the much, much bigger picture of what's really shaping our lives. So while a lot of us were focused on hacking our personal mindsets, the actual systems that manage our work lives were being optimized for something else entirely. And this brings us right into the world of algorithms. This is what we're talking about, algorithmic management. And it's not just for gig workers anymore, it's being woven into so many modern jobs. It's the code that tracks your keystrokes, measures how efficient you are, and even decides your very next task, all in painstaking detail. We used to think of workplace monitoring as something like this. A human manager walking around, maybe a security guard watching a few screens. There were limits, there was context, there was some kind of human judgment involved. And this is the new reality. Algorithmic management is this massive shift to constant, automated, and often totally invisible surveillance. It's a system designed from the ground up for maximum efficiency and control, working at a scale a person never could. And this leads to this fascinating and kind of sneaky concept called agency laundering. It's how companies can use technology to make their decisions seem, objective. Think about Uber's surge pricing, right? It's not presented as a person at Uber deciding to charge you more in a storm. No, it's just the neutral algorithm responding to market demand. It makes a human decision seem inevitable and objective, hiding the fact that people with certain values wrote that code in the first place. Okay, so if we've got all this control happening from the outside, it kind of makes you wonder, what's really going on the inside? If we're being managed by algorithms and sold on mindset hacks, what does the science actually say about what gets us going? So what is it? Is it really all about getting rewards? Is it about competition? Or maybe just the fear of being punished? Well, the answer is a lot more nuanced and a lot more human than we usually think. There's a really powerful framework for understanding all this, and it's called self-determination theory. It basically says that all of us, everywhere, have 3 core psychological needs. First, autonomy, the need to feel like you're in the driver's seat of your own life. Then, competence, that feeling that you're good at what you do. And finally, relatedness, the need to feel connected to other people. When those 3 needs are met, we tend to thrive. This theory also helps us see a huge difference between 2 types of motivation. Intrinsic is when you do something just for the love of it. You play guitar because you just love playing guitar. Extrinsic is when you're doing something for an external payoff. You're only doing a task to get the bonus. Now, both are real, but they are not created equal. Not at all. And here is the absolute kicker from the research. Leaning too heavily on those extrinsic rewards, like bonuses or whatever, can seriously backfire. It can actually kill your long-term intrinsic passion for something. The activity just becomes a chore you do to get a treat. It can start to feel controlling, which attacks our need for autonomy, and it makes it way harder to get motivated once that reward is gone. Okay, so let's start pulling these threads together. We've got the seductive appeal of individual life hacks on one side, and these powerful, often hidden systems of control on the other. Now let's connect the dots and get to the core argument here. This quote from the research just nails it. Here's what it's saying. If we're convinced that motivation is just a little switch inside our own heads that we can flip on and off, then we completely ignore the world around us. We stop looking at how our jobs are designed, how our schools are set up, and we never fix the very things that are sucking our motivation dry in the first place. And if you want a perfect, well-documented example of how context is king, look no further than stereotype threat. This is a real phenomenon where just being in a situation where a negative stereotype about your group could apply can literally lower your performance and motivation. It has nothing to do with your personal mindset and everything to do with the social situation you've been put in. So here it is. This is the big idea we've been building up to. Instead of fixing burnout by, say, creating sustainable workloads, companies offer us mindfulness apps. Instead of tackling real economic insecurity, we're told to just power pose our way to feeling confident. Again and again, deep structural problems get reframed as personal failings that you and I are supposed to fix on our own. So if that popular idea of freedom, the one based on endless consumer choice and mindset hacks, is just a fantasy, then what does real power, what does real freedom actually look like? And this really breaks down the two different ways of seeing freedom. On one side, you have the fantasy, this sort of choice overload, the shallow freedom to pick between 50 kinds of toothpaste or to optimize your personal to-do list. It's where having options replaces having real power. But the reality is so much deeper. It's the freedom that comes from having genuine autonomy over your work and your life, and the collective power to have a real say in how the systems that govern us are designed. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. There are concrete ideas for how to do this. Instead of being passively managed by code, imagine a system where workers have a right to what's called digital self-determination, a real say in how these algorithms get built and used. That's a huge shift from being a subject of the system to being a co-creator in it. And that, at the end of the day, is what this all boils down to. Real, lasting change isn't about just adopting a new attitude. It comes from looking critically at the structures all around us and then working to redesign them to support what we actually need as human beings: autonomy, competence, and connection.
None of this stuff is inevitable, right? All of these systems, from our workplaces to the apps on our phones, they were all designed by people with certain goals in mind. They aren't just forces of nature. So the question to leave you with is this: what if we consciously decided to design them for a different goal? Not just for efficiency or control, but for real, meaningful human freedom.